Bitcoin is back over $90,000. Texas just dropped its own crypto reserve and traders are betting on 126k Bitcoin, while others swear this is a dead cat bounce that's about to nuke your portfolio. Welcome back to CryptoCobra. So today I'm breaking down the exact move in real time, and if my outlook is completely wrong and Bitcoin nukes instead of pumps, I'll expose exactly where my analysis failed. Stick around till the end to see the results and whether we just called the literal top. Let's talk about the craziest Bitcoin news this week, where price might actually go next and why this whole move might be built on hope. In the next 30 seconds, I'll tell you why Texas just quietly did something that could change Bitcoin forever and almost no one is talking about it. First, the most underrated headline of the week: Texas just bought Bitcoin. Not just some random dude in Texas. The state itself kicked off a state-based crypto reserve, putting $5 million into a Bitcoin ETF. Why does this matter? Because this is how it starts. Today it's $5 million, tomorrow it's $150 million, and in 10 years you're telling your grandkids, yeah, Texas front ran our government on Bitcoin. And Texas isn't the only big money stepping in. In about 20 seconds, I'll show you why some institutions are quietly accumulating BTC after a 36% crash, while retail is still panicking. This move from Texas screams one thing: government level FOMO. They're not waiting for Bitcoin to be safe. They're hedging against the dollar now. Now let's talk about this insane bounce. Bitcoin dumped from around $120,000 all the way down to a panic low near $80,000 and tipped below $79,000, and now it's back above $90,000. That's around 12% rebound in just days. Right now BTC is chilling around $91,600, and based on the chart we're watching, it's just bounced off a major support zone between 85k to 88k. That level is basically the line where smart money said, enough, we're buying. See those blue bands? Those are Bollinger Bands. Price slammed into the lower band, bounced, and is now curling up. If BTC can reclaim the middle band around 95k, that's a short-term bullish reversal signal. And if Bitcoin can clear just one more level, my short-term target becomes $100,000. But, and this is huge, all the big EMAs 20, 50 and 99 are still above price. This means the macro trend is still neutral to bearish. The downtrend might be slowing, but it's not officially dead yet. Let's talk big money, because they can move Bitcoin more in one click than most of us can in a year. K33 Research came out and basically said, after a 36% drop from the all-time high, Bitcoin is now a strong buy. And to back that up, a treasury firm just grabbed another 100 BTC at current prices. That's over 9 million casually YOLOs into Bitcoin. But while some institutions are buying, others might be getting ready to dump, and I have the receipts. On-chain data shows massive transfers of 1,092 BTC and 1,469 BTC heading into exchanges. When whales send coins to exchanges, it usually means one thing: they're thinking about selling. Let's break down the indicators, but in plain English. First, MACD. The histogram went from a deep red to a lighter red, and the MACD lines are starting to curl up. That means bears are getting tired, bulls waking up. We are very close to a bullish crossover, which usually means short short-term upwards momentum. Next, we have the RSI. RSI 6 just shot up from oversold, and the other RSIs are climbing but not overbought yet. But I just noticed something on the chart and it's kind of disturbing. Okay, look at that there. If we zoom in, it crossed over. So the blue line went below the red line, and that's not a positive thing, because here you see, if I zoom out, we can see that the Bitcoin price, when it usually crosses like this could mean short-term upwards trend and then a downwards trend. So cautious when it comes to the RSI, but some tools I really like is these tools here. Okay, it's paid indicators, so do whatever you want, but I use these indicators here. You have the Divergence Pro. That's a great way to see the things we just had here. So when it went down to the green line there, it's about to break out on that red line, and if we keep on going up to this line here, as you see, usually it kind of goes in between those lines. But this line is downwards, and I think, as you see, it kind of bounced straight up. So I think it's going a bit sideways, a few minutes here. So back to the indicators. The indicators that I personally use are these invite-only indicators. I will have a link below this video where you can get them yourself. You have different types of indicators. You have impulse targets, divergence, you have MUM algo. This is a great indicator that kind of gives you buy and sell orders. So here it tracks exactly where to buy, and it hasn't come out with the sell yet, but on some shorter time frames RSI is now overbought and price is hugging the upper bullion band. That's exactly the kind of setup where Bitcoin likes to fake you out and drop 5 to 10% in a day. So here's the conflict. Momentum indicators were going up, overbought signals plus upper band. Cool, but don't get too comfy yet. Combine that with whales sending coins to exchanges and you get the perfect recipe for a sharp pullback inside a bigger uptrend. Alright, let's step away from the squiggly lines and talk macro risk. The stuff that can ruin even the best looking charts. Right now, a lot of this rally is powered by hope that the Federal Reserve cuts rates in December. Lower rates equals to cheaper money equals to risk on boom. That's good for Bitcoin if it happens. But if the Fed disappoints and their entire move can unwind and BTC could revisit the low 80Ks way faster than people can expect. On top of that, we got weak institutional ETF demand. Spot Bitcoin ETFs have seen net outflows, and some big holders are just not as excited right now. Without strong ETF inflows, this rally is like building a skyscraper on wet sand. And then there's Tether. Recently, Tether's stability rating got downgraded, and that makes some institutions very nervous. If enough people start doubting the main stablecoin in the system, liquidity can dry up, volatility spikes, and suddenly small sell-offs become giant crashes. In 30 seconds, I'm going to give you the exact price levels I'm watching, where I think Bitcoin goes in the next 10 days, and what happens if we fail at 95K. Okay, here's what you actually came for. Where is Bitcoin going next? Short term, 7 to 10 days. Based on the current bounce, indicators and volatility, here's my base case for the next 7 to 10 days. Bullish case. If momentum holds, I'm looking at targets around $95,500 to $98,000, and the big psychological level is $100,000. These all line up with the middle Bollinger Bands, the EMA 20, and the heavy historical resistance. But here's the catch. If Bitcoin fails to break above and holds above mid or 191K, we probably see a bearish scenario. Retest of 88K, worst case a dip back to around 85K support. Let's zoom out to the next 2 to 6 weeks. If BTC can break above those key EMAs, we could see $105,500 Bitcoin, or even $112,000 Bitcoin, and maybe even retest of 120k. But for this to happen, we heavily depend on Fed rate cut expectations, ETF inflows, no major tether drama, and if we slam into the 50 EMA and get rejected, I'm watching for a slow bleed back down to 78k or 82k, which is a major macro support. So my final Bitcoin price prediction based on this setup: Bitcoin likely pushes into the 95k to 100k range next. That's where the real decision happens. If we smash through 100k with strong volume, we're probably on the way to 110k and maybe revisiting that 120k range. If we fail to go above the $92,000 level, expect a shakeout back towards 88k or even maybe 85k before the next big move. And this is exactly where my trading strategy comes in. I'm going to show you my personal plan, and yes, I set a hard stop loss so I don't get wrecked. Here's how I'm personally playing this. Not financial advice, just what I'm personally doing with my own money. I'm entering between 91 to 92k. My first take profit zone is around $95,500 to $96,000. Second zone, 99 to 100k. Stop loss is set just under 88k below recent support. If we smash through 100k with insane volume, I'll trail the stop and let the position ride towards 105k. If we reject hard before 95k and start losing momentum, I'm out early. No ego, no diamond hands LARPing. So is Bitcoin going to 126k like most people are screaming, or is this just a beautiful dead cat bounce before we revisit the 80k? We have Texas building a Bitcoin reserve, institutions quietly accumulating after a 36 drop, whales loading exchanges with over 200 million in BTC, RSI flashing overbought, a macro backdrop that's one bad Fed meeting away from chaos. And if you want me to break down exact support and resistance levels, a more detailed entry and exit plan, and the December-January Bitcoin price prediction video, comment below detailed plan down below and I'll make a full deep dive episode. So this was all for today's Bitcoin video. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts where you think Bitcoin is headed next. Even if you're sitting on the sofa or a couch, make sure you comment, like, and share this video with all of your wonderful friends. Have a great day. Take care.